got real, like real. You hear me? Hey family, this is our first time ever doing a sit down video, and it's kind of weird, but anyway, I'm just gonna go along with it. CJ's up. I was gonna try to do this video while he was asleep, but he didn't want to go to sleep, so we're just gonna make do what it do. But if you're new here, welcome to the, I want to say Iams Family. Maybe I should change the name of the channel to Iams Family, but it's Iams Married now. So welcome, and to you guys who have subscribed, thank you for subscribing. We have 50 subscribers. I'm so happy. Baby, when I hit 100, I ain't gonna know how to act. But anyway, I just want to come on here and tell y'all my birth story. I never did a sit down video, and I wanted to tell y'all my birth story, but I wanted Cam to do it with me. He's always at work, so he probably wouldn't be able to do it with me. And plus, when he is at home, he wants to rest. So I decided to do it myself. I'm gonna try to do it while CJ's up. Hopefully he don't make too much noise. Well, I say hopefully he doesn't make noise as in cry, or I have to start over. But anyway, so if y'all didn't know, which y'all probably don't know, when I gave birth, I was 40 weeks and 6 days. So I was almost 2 weeks overdue. I wanted to have CJ natural, vaginally, and I had been praying my whole pregnancy that everything goes well with my pregnancy, and that when it comes time to have him, he'll just pop on out, baby. I didn't want to feel any pain, okay? I can't take pain, and I didn't want to feel pain. I can't even take a Band-Aid coming off of my arm. Like, that is how low my pain tolerance is. And maybe I should have wrote notes down, because I don't want this video to be all over the place. But anyway, we're just gonna do what it do. Okay, so anyway, my doctor wanted to induce me right at 40 weeks. But I told her, no, I wanted to have him naturally. I wanted him to come naturally. I didn't want to force him to come. When he was ready, he would come. Child, 41 weeks came, and Mr. CJ, I gotta make sure I see him because he's on the floor. Mr. CJ did not want to come. I mean, I was in pain. My back was hurting, my legs were hurting. I couldn't sleep, and I remember one day after my doctor's appointment. So if you didn't know, after 40 weeks, you have to go to the doctor twice a week. You have to go for your regular checkup, and then you have to go for monitoring. So it was after one of my regular checkups, and I sat on the couch and I told Cam, I was like, I am so tired of being pregnant. I am ready to have this baby. And he's like, you know, you're saying that you want him to come naturally, but you're not getting in the way of God's plan. So my thing was, I had been praying this whole time for God to, you know, allow me to have CJ naturally, that he would come naturally. And I felt that if I got induced, I would be stepping in the way of God's plan. And so after Cam broke that down, he's like, you know, you're not going to be stepping in the way of God's plan. Like, everything's going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. So my next doctor's appointment, I called my doctor, and I'm like, my next doctor's appointment, I told my doctor, hey, I just want to go ahead and get induced. So she's like, okay, let's do a membrane sweep. So I don't know like the technical doctor terms for membrane sweep, but all I know is that she went up, and she did like a little turn. So she said she was gonna do 4 times, and she said if it starts to hurt, she would stop. It was very, very, very uncomfortable. When I say it's worse than a pap smear, it's worse than, one second, meet Mr. CJ. It was worse than a pap smear. It was terrible. But anyway, and she told me, she said it may or may not work, but we can try it to see, to go ahead and get your labor started. When I walked out, you know, everything was normal. Anyway, this is Friday. No, let me back up. So, like I said, I did tell her that I wanted to be induced. So she scheduled me for that following Sunday. So when I went to my doctor's appointment, it was Friday. So she scheduled me for the following Sunday, following Sunday. And so my mom was coming that Friday anyway, just to help me prepare for CJ to come. So me and Cam, we came back home. We chilled, we relaxed. And then my mom came, and my mom and her husband came. So we all went out to eat, and I told Cam, I was like, oh, I'm cramping. Like, I'm cramping real bad. Like, this is worse than period cramps. And he's like, you think this is it? I was like, I don't know. Because at this point, we tried everything. When I say everything, we tried curb walking. We tried walking around our building up there 1,000 times. I tried bouncing on the pregnancy ball 1,000,000 times. When I say I tried everything, people kept saying, oh, do this, oh, do that, oh, do this. I tried it. The only thing I did not try was castor oil and eggplant. Yeah, from the recommendations that people gave us. And so at this point, I'm like, the membrane sweep, it may or may not work. I mean, at this point, I'm not even, if it doesn't work, I'm like, okay, whatever. So that night we were at Carrabba's, and this, like, they started to, the cramp started to cramp. The cramp started to cramp, like they were really hurting. So I'm like, oh, this is different, because I had been cramping off and on my last trimester anyway. So but these were definitely different. And so we finished eating, and we went to Kroger just to prepare, because my mom said, she's like, oh, she's having that baby this weekend. And so we're in Kroger, we're buying breakfast, lunch, dinner, we're preparing just in case I do go into labor and my mom has enough food to cook. So I'm in the little, because at this point I barely could walk. Like, I could walk short distances and then I would get super duper tired. And so I'm in the little push cart thing, not the push cart, but the wheelchair thing. And I'm not telling anybody what's going on, but I'm having contractions at this point. Like, contractions that makes me stop in my tracks, okay? I mean, I move forward a little bit and I'm like, oh. And everything that you read goes straight out the window. Like, the only thing I remembered to do was breathe, but it wasn't like, it was type of breathing. So we leave out of Kroger, and my mom, she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. So we get back home, we're on the couch, and Cam, and this whole time I'm contracting. And Cam looks over at me. He was like, okay, you're not okay. What's going on? And so I was like, I think I'm contracting. I'm having contractions. And so he tells me, he was like, okay, we're gonna count them just in case it's time to go to the hospital. So he downloads this app, and the app is saying, the app saying, oh, it's time to go to the hospital. But I'm like, no, oh, the camera shake. I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm like, no, it's fine. I want to go at the last. I don't want to get there. And they're like, oh, you're not dilated enough. We're going to send you back home. Because guess what? Oh, backstory. Yeah, at this point, I'm over 41 weeks. But when I went to the doctor that Friday, I was 1.5 centimeters dilated. So, of course, I don't want to go to the hospital, because guess what? They're going to turn me around. Okay. So Saturday, okay, so Friday night, that's when we did the whole counting thing. And I'm like, okay, no, I don't want to go. That whole entire night, all through the night, I'm having contractions. They're waking me out of my sleep. I barely can sleep. I am tired, frustrated. And so Saturday morning, I get up, I take my boss. I'm like, yeah, girl. Because at this point, she's telling me what I need to do too to have the baby. And I'm telling her, I'm ready to have the baby. And so she's like, you know, just let me know when you're going to labor. And then, you know, we'll have someone else, you know, fill in while you're gone. So I text her, I said, hey, I think this is it. I think I'm gonna head to the hospital tonight. So all throughout Saturday, I'm contracting. And later that night, they started really coming on strong. They were like 2 minutes apart at this point. And so Cam was like, you know, let's just go ahead and go and get checked out. So I go take a shower. Y'all, it went down, not downhill. I ain't gonna say downhill. It got real, like real. You hear me? Baby, I was in the shower, leaning against the wall, breathing like, Lord, praying like, Jesus, ease the pain. Lord, you died on the cross for my sins. You died so I don't have to feel no pain. My sins, when I say y'all, I was in there praying the heavens down. So my mom tells Cam to come in and check on me because I've been in there a long time. Cam comes in, he's like, what's going on? I step out the shower, I lean over the sink, and I throw up. See, that's what I'm saying. Let me tell y'all. I told you, I can't take pain. I lean over the sink and I, bless you, big boy. I lean over the sink and I throw up. So at this point, Cam, he's all over the place. He's like, he's grabbing stuff. He's ready to go. Okay, he went to get my mom. I lay on the bed. My mom was like, okay, baby, it's time to go. Let's just go ahead and go to the hospital. I can't move because I'm slumped over the bed. I am not ready. I'm ready to go to the hospital, but I'm in so much pain that I can't move. But anyway, so they get me ready. They get me dressed. My mom and Cam get me dressed, and Cam drives us to the hospital. So we get to the hospital. I think it's called triage. I don't know what it's called, but anyway, we get to the hospital. They asking me all these questions. They asked me how many weeks I am, and I tell them. And then they said, and so another thing too, my doctor told me too. She said, if you go into labor this weekend, I may not be there because she was feeling sick too. So I'm like, dang, I'm like, dang, like my doctor's not gonna be there because she knew my birth plan. I love my doctor. She knew my birth plan. So I didn't want to, you know, have anybody else deliver my baby. And I didn't want to have to, big boy, you dropping Passy. I didn't want anybody else to deliver my baby because they didn't know what me and my doctor talked about. But anyway, my doctor wasn't on duty. My doctor, wait a second. He dropped his Passy. Think of what? Fresh one. They can stick on your shirt. Hold on. I'm gonna have to rock him to sleep. Huh. All right. Okay, so yeah. So anyway, I get to the nurse is checking me. So she checked my vitals and whatever. So she wants to see how many centimeters I have dilated because, you know, I'm in pain, I'm contracting. So she's like, okay, well, you should, you know, let's see if you are dilated enough for us to keep you. So she checks me. I'm like 2 centimeters. Like 2. No, not even 2, y'all. I'm still at 1.5 centimeters. And I'm mind blown because I'm like, dang, like I'm experiencing this much pain. I'm only 1.5 centimeters dilated. But anyway, so she go back in and they come back and say, my doctor wrote a note that said if I come in, they has to keep me because I was overdue. And the doctor that was on call said to give me, I think it's correct, you know, y'all in the comments correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Cervidil. I think it's Cervidil, something like that. To start me off with that. And what that is, it just helps it helps you labor basically. So they get, it's like a little string that they stick up to your uterus. It's to cause you to dilate. So they did that, and what that is you can't use the bathroom for 2 hours. If it falls out, you have to start the whole process over again. And so they do that. Baby, let me tell you, those contractions hurt so bad. Like, it was to the point where, and I wasn't on any pain meds at this time. So I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, this is a different type of pain. And granted, you know, if I could, but I was eating them up like a champ. And I can't take no pain. So if you could take pain, it probably wouldn't be nothing to you. Like, it probably be like a pinch to you. But anyway, so they started me off on that. This is going into Sunday morning at this point. And the contractions are kicking up, but I'm still not dilating. And at this time, they're monitoring CJ's heart rate. And my doctor comes in. These fast 4 hours later, my doctor comes in and she says that let's get you started on Pitocin. So I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't want to do Pitocin because I heard so many negative side effects. I read it and I heard so many negative side effects. So I didn't want to take Pitocin. I wanted to, you know, like I said, have my baby natural. So while I'm waiting on them to give me Pitocin, I'm telling my mom and Cam, like, hey, I need y'all to praise the Lord in this place. Okay, I need y'all to be praying the heavens down. I need y'all to worship. I need y'all to do something, because this pain is on another level, honey. Okay, I'm telling Cam, baby, this might be your only one. Okay, this might be your only one, because I barely can take it. So they start praying. In my mind, all I'm singing is Jireh, you are enough. Cause baby, that pain was kicking my butt. Anyway, so my doctor comes in and she's like, so she sit down, like she's super serious, like her whole demeanor changes, right? And so at this point, Cam has left. He's going to give my mom clothes because we didn't expect to be at the hospital that long. So he's going to get my mom clothes at Target and to get them something to eat. And I haven't eaten either. Well, I was supposed to eat, but the food was trash. So I didn't eat either. So I'm starving at this point. I'm in pain, but I'm really not focused on being hungry because I'm in labor. So my doctor comes in and she's like, she wants to wait on my husband. Oh, back up. I eventually did take some pain, because I told them, no, child, let me back all the way up. So overnight, when the contractions were getting very, very intense, I told my mom and Cam, I woke them up. I said, hey, I don't think I can really take the pain anymore, because at this point, it felt like CJ was about to bust out my belly button. Like, that's how bad the pain was to me. So even with me doing like mental, like it was just, the pain was overbearing. I couldn't take it anymore. So I'm like, hey, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and get an epidural, because the medicine that they gave me is not working. I still feel the pain. Like, it's at this point, yeah, I can't take it. So of course they respected my decision. They're like, okay, well, yeah, like go ahead and get the epidural. Shoes, we don't want you in pain anyway. So, and Cam, his whole thing was, why be in pain when you have a solution to not be in pain? So they come in and do the epidural. No, he just dropped his pacifier again. Big boy, sorry, I don't. Okay, look. Sorry, big boy. But let me speed this up so I can put him to sleep. Yeah, you dropped it, push. Yeah. I'm trying to rock him to sleep and do this video. Where was I? Okay, about the epidural. Yeah. So I got the epidural. No, I had to wait for the epidural, not long or whatever, but I did have to wait. So by this time, like Cam said, see, this is why I want him to be in here too, because He says that it was like an hour after I got the epidural that the doctor came in. Meanwhile, to me, it felt like 10 minutes. Literally, because I was so drugged up from the other medicine that I really don't know when it was, to be honest. I just knew the doctor came in. So she comes in very serious. She waits for Cam to get back, and she's like, they have been outside monitoring CJ's heart rate. His heart rate is dropping tremendously. Every time I have a contraction, his heart rate drops. And they're trying to give me Pitocin to speed up the process. But every time they put even like a little bit of Pitocin in me, he doesn't react well to it. So they tried multiple times. At this point, they did try multiple times, but it just he wasn't responding well to it. So she explained it like this. She said that the rate that my labor was going, he has been fighting for so long. And I was only at that point 3 centimeters dilated. And if I wait until 10, he may not have made it to 10 centimeters. They don't know why his heart, at this point, they didn't know why his heart rate was dropping. Okay, y'all, so I'm watching the footage back again. I didn't feel like getting up, going to the setup I had before. And I forgot this part, the whole chat. I forgot this part. Too busy talking about how perfect CJ looked. But anyway, the reason why CJ's heart rate was dropping is because the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. And so when the doctor cut me open and finally moved everything out the way, they saw that the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck, and that was causing his heart rate to drop. So thank God that we made the decision to have a C-section, because if we tried to have him vaginally, it would not have gone well. So I just wanted to, this editor Koya, check it in. So she gave me 2 options. She said you can do a C-section, or if you feel like you want to wait it out, you can try to have him vaginally. But she preferred and recommended that we do the C-section because she didn't know if CJ would make it to through the labor process, and she didn't know how long the labor process would take, since he wasn't responding to Pitocin and she wasn't going to try to force Pitocin on me. And she said it's completely up to me. And so I'm so loopy and out of it. I don't know, I don't know what to say. Like, I was just so out of it. All I'm thinking about is, what in the world is going on? What is happening? And so Cam says, we're going to do the C-section. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus, that he was here, because she probably thought I was delusional or out of my mind to even take that long to make a decision. But in my mind, I wasn't processing anything. Like, all I was thinking about was, what is going on? Like, all I'm hearing is, my baby may not make it. That's all I'm hearing. Like, my baby may not make it. And I'm asking questions, and I started asking questions like, what's going to happen? Like, but anyway, so once Cam said we're going to have a C-section, she immediately, when I say the nurses and stuff must have waiting outside the door. They must knew I was going to say C-section, because they came in, baby, did the do. I mean, gave me more medicine. When I said I felt good, but also I was so loopy, I didn't know what was going on. Cam got dressed and they wheeled me to the operating room. They put the little thing up, and at this point I'm laid out, stretched like Jesus on the cross, and the 2 thieves on the side. Okay, I'm just laid out, stretched like that. At this point, I'm looking for Cam because I don't see him. I'm like, Cam, I'm like, where? I mean, in my mind, I'm like, where is my husband? And so as soon as Cam comes in, I'm like, I gotta throw up. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. The anesthesiologist, she is handing me bags to throw up in. So I mean, she handing Cam bags to throw up in. So I'm laying up like just throwing up. Anyway, so then at this point, they're cutting me open, but I can't feel none of it. Cam is like, they cut you open already, you don't feel it? No, I didn't feel anything. Like, I legit didn't feel nothing, no pain, no nothing. So CJ, at this point, CJ is born, and I look over and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's so perfect. He's so perfect. But in the can't even talk. But before then, I was so out of it, y'all. I thought I was gonna die. Like, I'm probably being so dramatic, but I legit thought I was gonna die. It felt like if I closed my eyes, I was gonna see Jesus' face. Like, that is how, I don't know, maybe I had so too much medicine or what the case may be, but just laying out like that, stretched, arms stretched wide and stuff like that, I just knew it was over. And so I'm praying in my mind, like, Lord, please let me just see my baby. Like, please let me just see him. I just want to see his face before. Like, I'm legit doing this. They might have been drugs. That's why don't do drugs, kids. but anyway, so CJ was born. Just, yeah, CJ, I don't have no words. Like, it was just so, the camera shaking again. It just was so, it was beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, it was very beautiful. The anesthesiologist, she kept coming up like, oh my God, he's so beautiful. Cam running over, crying. Meanwhile, I'm still getting y'all, my car, side note, my truck alarm keeps going off, and I have no idea why. Like, I'm sending it back to the manufacturer. And y'all, and what's crazy is the doors unlocked. Like, I purposely left the doors unlocked, because it kept, like, the alarm kept going off. I don't know what it is, but anyway, everybody, this story is long, you know. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, and I know y'all like, oh, you know, God didn't come through, or, you know, you didn't get what you prayed for. Technically, I did. And I had to sit down with Cam, and me and him talked about it. I prayed that I would have a painless birth. Like, I didn't want to experience no pain during my birth. Labor, I did experience pain through. But the birthing process, no pain. Like, it was legit, yeah. Come on, let's take a nap. Yeah, it was, yeah, like, I didn't feel anything. Even the whole time I was in the hospital, I didn't, like, my doctor kept asking my pain tolerance, my pain level, and I was telling her, I was like, I don't feel anything. Like, I don't have any pain. And she's like, well, maybe it's the medicine, but I wasn't taking any pain medicine. Like, the nurse had to force pain medicine because she thought that maybe I had leftover epidural still in my system because I wasn't feeling any pain. I was very sore, don't get me wrong. I was very sore after they told me to get up and walk, but other than that, nothing. My healing process from the C-section, the only time I felt pain was coming from the hospital to where we live. And that was about an hour drive, 45 minutes to an hour drive. That was with traffic. And at the time, we didn't have our truck, and we were in our sedan. And so, of course, I'm feeling all the bumps and stuff like that in the back with the car seat and CJ. But, and so when I got out, I was super, super sore. But to me, God did come through. He answered my prayer. I didn't feel any pain. I had an easy breezy recovery. Like, that was the only pain I felt. Like, physically, I was good. Now mentally, I'll tell y'all about that. That'll be a whole nother story. But physically, I was pretty good. I was bent over. Now, I shouldn't have been, but that's how good I felt. After 3 weeks, I was bent over cleaning up because I didn't want the house to be dirty. And I thank God that I did have a C-section, because it gave me a different outlook of, you pray for this, but it didn't happen the exact way that I prayed for it, but my prayer was still answered. And sometimes, you know, we pray for things and expect God to show up exactly how we pray for it, but God doesn't have to do that. He's almighty, he's sovereign. He knows everything, and he knows what we need to go through in order for us to be humble. He knows what we need to go to keep us humble and to give him glory. Because he could have easily had a vaginal birth and gave all the glory to the book I read, because I read the book like 3-4 times. So I could have done that, like, yeah, the book said this, and I did the breathing techniques that the coaches said on Instagram and YouTube. But no, like, I give all glory and credit to God, because he did that. Like, he legit took the pain away from my experience, and I'm thankful for it. And to truth be told, people always, like mothers that I talk to, they always say, they always be like, oh, you don't remember the pain once you have the baby? No, I wouldn't say you don't remember. Well, yeah, it's like you don't remember the pain. I remember the pain, but I don't remember the pain. It wasn't so too bad that I wouldn't have another one. Like, I said that during during labor, but I would definitely have more kids. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad. Like, it was bad, but I mean, I have another one. But yeah, so it's been 6 months now, y'all, and I truly enjoy motherhood, and I hope this story made sense. I've been very much all over the place with the story, but I hope it made sense, and I hope it blessed you to know that to not be afraid of it either. Like, if you're pregnant, because this thing is 30 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go to like 35. So if you're pregnant, don't be fearful of the birthing process or the labor process. Just put it in God's hands. Let God know your fears, even though he already know them, but just let God know, like, hey God, like, talk to God like a father. You know, hey God, I am really afraid of this birthing process. I don't know what to expect, and just give it to him, and he'll definitely come through for you like he did for me. Now, I may not look exactly how you want it to look, but best believe that once the whole process ends and you look back on it, you're gonna be like, okay, I'm thankful for my journey, because it's different. Just because it didn't happen exactly the way I wanted it, or how I saw it on TV, or how somebody else's birthing process went, mine still is unique. And I still tell it, like, I still tell people all the time. People ask me, oh, did you have your baby natural? No, I had a C-section, and I'm not afraid of it. Afraid to tell it, or embarrassed or ashamed to tell it. It's my story. But I hope this video blessed you guys. Will I do another sit down video? Hopefully so. It probably won't be 35 minutes long, but I hope you guys have a great day. As you can see, CJ is knocked out. But I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful day. Just know that God loves you. I love you, but God loves you more, and that, you know, everything works out for our good. Okay? Peace. I can't do my peace sign because obviously. Okay, him. And he's snoring. Bye, y'all. Okay, y'all, so as I'm watching the video back, I forgot an important part of my labor story. I wouldn't say an important part, but it's important to me. So when I go into labor at the hospital, and they go ahead and give me the medicine to induce me. So I think it's what I said, Cervidil, something like that. And it makes you contract, right? So I don't know if it was the medicine or what, but it had me contracting like non-stop. So most women, from what I know, they contract, have a rest period. there was no rest period for me. It was like I was contracting in my stomach area, abdomen area, uterus, whatever, right? And then I would contract again in my butt. And so I didn't even know that you can contract in your butt, right? But it was happening. So it was to the point where the nurse came in, she looked at my chart, she was like, oh my goodness, she said, you're not even getting a break. Like, these things are coming on strong. So I was enduring that all through the night. So when I finally did wake up my mom and Cam to tell them like, hey, I can't take this no more. I'm gonna go ahead and get the epidural. So that is why I ended up getting the epidural, because I couldn't take the pain anymore. Like, the pain was constant all night, from the time they inserted the Cervidil to the time I got the epidural. So I just want to come in and say that I'm going to insert this somewhere in the store, because I just want y'all to know that that's the reason. Like, and I can't take pain. Well, you know what, I'm going to stop saying that, because baby, after having a baby, listen, I can take pain, okay? I can take pain. But yeah, so I don't want to say like, oh, if I can do it, you can do it. But no, if I can do it, you can do it. Because I'm the type of person that my pain tolerance is this much. Well, it was this much. And so if I could take contractions like back to back, my mom even said, oh, I am proud of you, because because she knows, like, period cramps used to have me tucked in the bed, balled up in a ball. So, but yeah, I just want to come in and say that, okay? I was about to start editing the video, and I was like, dang, I forgot to tell the folks about that. So yeah.